Hi, Kendrick.
Why, hello.
So Kendrick and I are going to be talking about family karma after we talk about The Last of Us. I will put timestamps in the description, though, so you can skip if you have not watched or if you just don't care about Last of Us. That being said, here at She Speaks Bravo, we believe that Bravo TV is a great form of self-care and therapy. Look at me. I've been using it for over a decade, and I am a complete mess. That's me, by the way. I'm Emily, and I'm your host on this journey.
What is this, honey?
I love that. If you're not already subscribed, get subscribed and hit that notification bell because I'm releasing new episodes at least 3 times a week. You fool!
That's my opinion!
I talk Bravo, I talk true crime, and sometimes I talk a little scripted. So whatever you're here for, I hope you enjoy the show. I know we're going to have different opinions.
Yes, I'm ready, though. I'm anxious to hear, because look, I talk about it with another group of friends that aren't in the podcasting world either. Mm-hmm. They're just Joe Schmo. And so I talked to Joe Schmo. One of them absolutely loved it. One of them was like, wasn't my favorite. And so I was like, ooh, that's what Emily said. So okay. I'm anxious to hear. I need to know thoughts.
Okay. So, okay. Wait, you tell me why you liked it.
Okay.
You give me, let's start on a good note and then, okay. And then we'll go. By the way, I have no business being this judgmental. I just am. I watch it and I'm like, I'm so fucking picky and I pick things apart like I have any business.
Here. It's okay.
But this is how I am. Okay.
So first of all, I'm across no matter what it is, reality TV, scripted TV, movies, whatever. I'm a sucker for sibling relationships. So I'm always interested in that dynamic, whether it's older, younger, whether it's contentious or amazing. I'm just always curious in that. And I thought they did such a good job of not, because I feel like the easy thing to do would have been to let Joel come back and they fall right back into their old pattern. He was taking care of him and, it was this kind of stuff, love each other, looking out for each other, that kind of stuff. It's a whole nother thing because I think people don't realize sometimes that you don't want to say it, but out of sight, out of mind sometimes. And I hate to say that, but they've been apart for so long. Life does go on. It really does. And I thought they captured all of this so well. The fact that he came there, he was so happy to see him, but it's also I can't give up the life that I've now built for you. That doesn't make any sense to my current life. I have a baby on the way. I've gotten married. Things are finally looking up for me. The way you used to have you had a daughter that you love her and all this kind of stuff. I know you don't have her anymore, but you understand what that relationship is. So it would be weird, to not allow me to have this. And I feel like that was all great while still dealing with the stuff from last episode where we're seeing Ellie really grow up and she's having to grow up fast because now she's whereas she didn't want to kill the little kid, obviously, but she watched him die, to where now she's ready to shoot the gun at whoever to protect Joel and this kind of stuff. And I don't know. I liked, I don't expect every episode to be like episode 5 was a lot and it was a fantastic episode. It was the drama of, another brother and sister thing. She's trying to avenge her brother that was killed and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
It was the big clickers kind of,
that's
melee.
A good point. You just talked, that's 2. Then there was the brothers with Henry and Sam too. How funny. Lots of sibling dynamics.
Yeah, a lot. And I'm a sucker for it all the time too. And I don't know, I just felt and plus Rutina Wesley, I love her whenever she pops up. That was the brother's wife on the show. She's a great actress. I love her.
Great actress.
Yes, love her. So I was a sucker for that too. And I was really interested in this kind of hidden society that they had, built all on their own and stuff like that. So for me, it was just a good little, I know shit's gonna get bad, eventually again. It looks like next week might be another, we need to set some stuff up before we go forward kind of episode. And so I don't know. I like the way the show is balancing the heights with like the more subdued kind of storytelling. I'm a fan of it. I'm just like a sucker for it, like week after week. But keep in mind, like in my mind, there was no bad House of the Dragon episode either. Like I was a sucker for that shit every single week. I think HBO just has me like in a headlock that I can't escape.
But this is why you have like a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and I have a 4.7 because I'm such a fucking bitch.
You know, this is so random to bring up, but I laugh all the time at how much like Donnie and Chelsea make fun of like what people say about them, because they always they will like Chelsea, like if you don't know Donnie and Chelsea's like dynamic, you would be like, what the hell is going on? But obviously, like, Donnie is the terror in that relationship. But like, it's so funny that people are like, oh my God, she's so mean to him. You've got to get away from him. And everyone that knows them are like, yes, they're like, what
who
the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my God, they're like the closest to friends.
Yes, it's so funny. So
I didn't know they got those reviews. They have a 5-star rating. That's all I care about.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so now it's my turn to rip it to shreds.
I'm anxious to hear. Tell me everything.
I'm gonna go for like a whole overall complaint about the show now, because I didn't realize.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like what I've really appreciated about the show up to now is that they've done these amazing episodes that are like standalone episodes where we got that dynamic between, we got the amazing story of the gay couple, and it was, and I did see people complaining because I thought that they were very simple-minded complaints, like this had nothing to do with the storyline. Why would they even spend so much time on this? And I was like, well, it's called The Last of Us, so I think it was kind of cool that they were showing The Last of Us, and this is what it would be. And then we get Sam and Henry, which technically we didn't really need to go into full detail on this dynamic and this relationship, but they did because, again, it's The Last of Us. So I'm not sure. I could have looked it up, but I didn't. I'm not sure who directed this episode, but it felt like a completely different style. There were a lot of very cheesy decisions, like the dissolve fade between like certain things where I was like, oh, did we really just do that? What is this, like
the PowerPoint shit that person that like gets you say like, oh, I'll do the talking, you do the presentation, and then you didn't check the presentation beforehand. They saw those like lasers and dissolving text and shit. It's like, okay, like calm
like there's
the fuck
a part
down.
where Pedro's like looking off and then they like fade it to something else because he's thinking about that. I'm like, this suddenly was so on the nose. And I was like, whoa, this is a departure. And then here's a bigger issue I had. If you're going to take these chances where you're going to make us, like, for example, we got into that, like, all of that shit that we went through with the other people, the whatever they were called last episode.
Oh,
all of that's
Fedra.
over.
Yeah.
That's all done. We're done with them completely. Now I'm supposed to emotionally connect to this brother relationship, which I haven't seen for all of these episodes.
Since episode 1, yeah.
And if you want to, and this is like me nerding out with acting, which again, I haven't done for so many years. I have no business complaining about it. Like I have any sort of talent left, but I think that the director the shots were fucked up too. Like the scene at the bar, I was like, I don't feel anything. I don't understand what this dynamic is. You're relying too much on these two characters that I don't have a connection to. I'm not feeling like I don't get what his intention is. I don't get what his intention is. I get it on paper, sure. He's got a wife. He's got a kid on the way. I get it. Like, why would he want to help you out? I didn't even know what he was trying to get him to help him out with. I was like, what do you want him to do? Oh, you want him to take? I didn't know until he sat down later and was like, I need you to take her. I was like, oh, I didn't get why you were mad. I mean, I was pissed because I was like, this motherfucker's been living the life and he couldn't even tell his brother about it. That's fucked up. I was mad about that.
Right.
But they were relying so much on this dynamic that we weren't privy to. So suddenly I was like, well, they could have maybe done some more flashbacks of these relationships. Maybe we could have seen them murdering those people that they keep referring to over and over again. And maybe we could have like understood the history. But I have no connection to this guy. Don't really care. He kind of sucks, in my opinion. I'm like, this guy sucks. And so, I cared more about the wife. She was a better actress than this guy.
Ooh,
then
okay.
they give Pedro this monologue that is a monologue. Like
tear-jerking, yes.
I was watching this like, oh my God, this acting is just spectacular. And all the director could do was give these like flashback, like they're like, let's splice in some bits and pieces, and then all he's gonna do is sit there. I'm like, you're not even gonna pan towards him. You're not gonna give him anything. So the directing just seemed choppy. And again, schmaltzy. Like I'm supposed to give a shit about this brother who I don't know enough. I'm like, I don't care about this brother.
I'm gonna research while you're talking.
Okay, yeah, find out who that director is.
Okay.
And so then Ellie, poor little fucking Ellie, like you rip him away from her because for some reason now he's too old to go. I'm like, well, why can't you guys go together?
Right.
I don't get it. Like, why can't, like, so then there were writing decisions and choices that were made that I didn't understand because now they're just taking liberties at this point because this, you know, the game is now kind of over, I'm sure. And so they're just sort of taking liberties and playing with it. And I'm like, now you've gone off book and now I don't know what direction you're taking it with. And when I watched the like after show thing where they talk about why they made the choices they did, they were like, you know, it's hard to fail. So he's really struggling with the fact that he's failing. I'm like, or he's just really fucking scared because he's literally fighting for his life every single goddamn day. Like he could just be having anxiety. Like, why does he now need to be like, they took it a little bit too existential. Like it could have just been a little bit more linear. I didn't like the choices they made.
I want to address a lot. So first of all, we haven't seen this director on this show before. Her name is...
I knew it was someone new.
Yeah, it was Jazz... Oh, I'm going to fuck this name. Hold on, let me click on the pronunciation. It's Jasmila, Jasmila, and then the last name is Zbanic.
Okay.
Yes. So this is her first time directing one of the episodes. The others have been like, Craig Mazin, who obviously talks at the end of the episodes, and Neil Druckmann and Peter Hoare and Jeremy Webb did episodes 4 and 5, which bra fucking vo. So yeah. So I agree with you on that. I do want to say I agree with you. The part that for me, I've lost a father. So like I get the whole death thing and seeing people. The cheesiest shit in the world was like him going out there having that panic attack, but then seeing someone with curly hair and being like, oh my God, that might be my daughter, and that could be my that part I was kind of like okay,
we're really pushing.
Yeah, it's like that's a little, especially since like it's been 20 years. Like when it first happened, I was always like, man, that I would like call my dad's phone, hear voicemail, like that kind of stuff. But then after a while, it turns to like, oh, that dude looks like my dad, kind of. And then it's something like this was a weird kind of choice. The age thing you're talking about with, okay, let me just say this. It was kind of a stretch both ways because in the first episode, he was supposed to be like 36. I was like, I know you fucking lying. And then, and now he's supposed to be like 56, and I'm like, I know you fucking lying. It's a lot. So like they tried it a little bit. They tried it a little bit.
Yeah.
With the acting, yeah. So I agree with that.
That's a good. I forgot about the part where he looks at the girl with the hair, and it's like, okay, we get it, guys. We get it. We've already established this. So it just became suddenly so not like the show.
Yeah.
I was like, we've done nothing of the sort up to this point. And again, I was all for it. Kind of each episode was kind of a standalone in its own way. And then I'm like, oh yeah, we have to get back on track and we have to go meet this brother. That's fine, but let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Cool. We got this cool place. I want to go to this place. I'm relieved that there's this place. Thank God. I need a break. I need a break. Let's chill. Let's have some places that's clean because I'm sick of you guys being these gross places. It's disgusting. So so I was relieved. But instead it was like, let's have these long moments with this brother. And I'm like, I don't know him. And I don't get him. And and again, he's, whether it was the directing not being great or just the actor not being that good, but he could not pull off the scenes that were relying solely on the acting. And
it's got to be the directing, because Gabriel Luna is a pretty good actor. Like, I would imagine. So it's got to be you'll be happy to know, though, she's not going to direct anymore, at least this season. So they've already listed out who's directed like the last 3 episodes. So
so, and also like
last 3.
You kind of like forgot, like I was like, oh yeah, they need to get her to this place, and then they don't even get to get her there, and I'm like, God, what is that? What is gonna be the, and I could like research how it ends in the whole thing. So he does die in the video game?
So I always look for those. I don't look for any spoilers, but I love just kind of like, as a comic book person.
Yeah.
I love seeing, I think it's GameSpot that does, like, after every episode, they post like stills from the show, and then they show this like the direct scene like from the video game. And so it's just like 10 slides, like a carousel on Instagram, showing like how they took some stuff directly from the video game.
Okay.
So that last shot of him like laying on the ground was directly from the game. So I'm like, we've got more episodes, so he's gotta be alive. See, I don't think we're gonna get more of him though until episode 8. We just had episode 6.
Okay.
I think next week is supposed to be strictly flashback so it'll be an Ellie character building.
Ellie character, that's fine. Yeah, she's great. And
we're finally getting, because I've been wondering this whole time, I'm like, where the fuck is Storm Reed? Like, I thought she was in this show, and she finally pops up next episode. So
okay,
I guess she's the best
friend.
Yeah.
So that was my savage opinion on that episode.
Yes, but it was mostly, I liked that it was mostly technical stuff, because I'm technical. Right, because like I'll give a lot of grace when it comes to like choices that people make in terms of like telling a story and stuff like that, but sometimes technical stuff hangs me up too. So I get that. I'm like, oh, why'd you choose that kind of stuff? And I'm a pretty generous person when it comes to like,
very yes.
I am when it comes to liking stuff, because I try, I'm one person that's like, okay, I would have preferred it this way, but I still like the way you did it. So I'm still like, I try not to go into like anything. I have to, because of, the Marvel, DC, like that whole world is so ruthless online that like... I
forget that you have that world to compete with as well.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And they're very intense. I forget about that.
I ignore them for the most part. My whole like niche that I've carved out is come for the reality TV, and then I'll teach you about like you can watch like the Marvel stuff with your husband, and I'll teach you about all of that. Like, so I've carved that out. The diehard people, sometimes it's a little too much. I'm just like, no, let me stay over here.
There's something to say about fandoms. I can't remember. Someone sent this to me. I cannot remember who it was. I want to say it was like a wrestling guy from like WWF or something, who was interviewed talking about just how toxic it can get.
Yeah.
In terms of a fandom, and how you have this group of people
who crazy, right? Wrestling.
Yeah. Exactly. How they of all the things,
right?
All the things that can get so toxic, but just the people who think they own the opinions of something, and they can retaliate online and get so upset about it. And so it's like, so I'm watching The Challenge. Because I just need background TV. And so it's like, these are the best shows to throw on because they're from so long ago. And so if you don't, like, you can like kind of skip it. And I posted in my stories that I was watching it, and I could already see glimpses of that fandom popping
it's still
through.
Around.
It's still around, and
which is wild to me.
If that is your thing, you're into it. So I posted something about, mind you, I posted the picture from. This is from 2006 that I'm watching this season.
Derek, wasn't it?
It was Wes. I posted the picture of Wes, and I was like, God, I forgot how bad this guy is. And I got at least 20 DMs from people being like, yeah, but he gets a lot better in this current season. I'm like, okay, but this is from 2006, and you can't gather that I'm talking about like this microcosm of time. It's like these little glimpses of fandoms where it's like we have such strong opinions about things, and it's like we have to like own that and show you that we said it and it's ours and it's mine. And so someone was like, will you be covering it? And I was like, probably not. Can't take on that fandom. I've also been asked if I'll cover RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm like, I don't think you know how toxic that fandom is.
Oh, see,
that fandom's gnarly.
I just dip a toe in. I watch Fridays. Me and Kay are usually like live text during it, and then like I dip out because I'm like, I don't need another fandom. I feel like the reality TV, like the Housewives fandom is fucking enough. But then when you throw like the Marvel, DC stuff in there too, I'm like, okay, I need a break. So like, no, I can't join. And then I have to watch like The Bachelor sometimes too. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this with y'all. I apologize for it. But that's a good example though, because I've really had to like train myself. I knew before I came into this like world where I'm going to be talking about all this stuff, I had to like consciously say, okay, don't fly off the hinges every time somebody comes for you, because that's like that would be my first, like years ago, my first reaction. But now I try to think, because I was thinking like, if someone said that like they're watching season 5 of like Atlanta Housewives and they're like dogging Kenya out, I would be like, okay, not too fucking much now, like we love us some Kenya. But then I would be like, you know what, Kenya annoyed the fuck out of me back when season 5 was airing too. So I'm like, you know what? Let me calm down. They'll go on their own journey. They'll get there with her. It's okay. They'll appreciate it. So then I step back. So I've like had to like be conscious, because I didn't want to be the person that's like, every time someone like wants to comment on something that like I've posted, then I'm the guy that's like posting back like, well, fuck you because you da. And I'm like, okay, nope, I'm not doing it. Let me just watch TV. Can't do it with you. Sorry.
Yep. I still get sassy in my comments sometimes.
It depends. See, I don't feel like I get tried a lot, which is maybe I've been kind of conscious about like, you post space I've carved out. You post very smart. Yeah, only funny stuff, and then I'll leave.
Yeah. What did you say? Low stakes.
Yes, I don't do like any of the other like kind of stuff. Because if I did, then y'all would like realize all of my favorites are horrible. His
problematic takes on things.
Yes, because y'all know I am the king of chaos. I love the chaos. So
I definitely. Like, I gave it back to people when I posted my Miami take, and Kendrick, I've never seen people react like that. So I get that Nicole's a fan favorite on Miami, and I just, it's it's like when I said some shit about Karen. When you say something about a fan favorite, you have to like, but I didn't even think I was saying anything about a fan favorite. I was talking about her husband.
Right.
I posted the thing about how I
remember. Yes.
And I was like, Anthony, I do not like the way, because Anthony does get under my skin. He gives me used car salesman energy. And so I posted that, and I guess I didn't explain every single nuance of what I meant. And I had comments that were like, this chick's delusional. This chick's a joke. This chick's an idiot. Like, what this just, and then people
that would piss me off. Like,
and then people would reply to that and be like, I know, right? What the fuck does she, I thought she speaks Bravo. And like, and it was one of those that took off, one of those posts that took off. So like within 12 minutes, I had like 50 comments, and that 90% of them were like that. So I deleted it and then reworded it and was like, I'm going to repost this fucker again.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
And then I had to come for more people because people got offended by the caption. Like, oh, am I just supposed to agree with you? I was like, no, but you need to be fucking respectful.
Right.
I've never seen anything like that.
See, I'm such a snarky asshole that if you did, like, if they were like, oh, I thought she speaks Bravo, that's when I would have gotten the comments like, well, good for me. It comes on fucking Peacock, so I don't speak that. Thank you.
Well, at first I tried to be like, oh, I'm ready. But then it was like, it kept coming. And I was like, I can't keep up. Like, I was like, I thought it was going to be like one or two. But then I realized like, God, people like, it's not even Nicole. It's about her husband. But it.
Right.
I was like, listen. and people were acting. Kendrick, the fucking post, the post was Alexia never takes accountability. And the fucking video was me making fun of Alexia. The second part of the post was about her husband. And half the comments were, Alexia doesn't take accountability. I'm like, that's what the post says. The post says that.
Right.
So people don't even, like, they're blind. I still have it up because I refused to delete it because I was like, you guys are fucking idiots. I was so mad. I was so mad. Oh my God. I'm like, it's that right there. But then the weird part is Todd got in the comments and the post is talking shit. Yes, but in a good way.
Oh.
The post said, Alexia doesn't take responsibility. And then it says, I don't generally like Todd's energy, but I like that he shut Anthony down.
Oh, yeah.
Todd comes into the comments and is like, I agree that men should not get involved in the women's business, but what you don't see is there was a much longer conversation and Anthony was doing a lot more than what he was, but I do apologize if anyone was offended. And he was replying to certain people's comments, like, we're like, fuck Todd, blah, blah, blah. And he was like a gentleman. And I was like, I'm shocked he's replying to this because this is like talking shit about his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Did you? Okay, I don't think you didn't probably hear this story.
Uh-oh.
Todd tagged me in a reel last week.
No.
Kendrick, my heart sank because I was like, oh my God. Because, I had that beef with Alexia.
Right.
And so I was like, I'm dead. And it's him just talking to the camera. And I'm like, this is him threatening my life. This is him like, I heard what you fucking did. But it was him talking to the camera about something Frank Catania Sr. had posted about a 14-year-old taking her life due to online bullying.
Oh.
And he was raising awareness. And I was tagged along with Lady Gaga, suicide prevention, mental health people, Queens of Bravo, and me. And I'm like, oh, does he not know that his wife and I are beefing?
Right.
And he thinks that I'm like one of the accounts that like, and did he not read the rest of the post? Like I said, I don't like your energy in general.
Right.
I was so fucking, so I sent it to a few people like, is this a passive aggressive way of saying I'm online bullying? I'm like, I'm so.
Right.
But I don't think so because he just wouldn't attack me. So
probably not, because why is Lady Gaga in it?
Why is Lady Gaga in it?
Why is she here? What happened? What?
It's so weird.
This is like the chaotic shit that like Sonia Morgan does or whatever intern is tweeting, because like every now and then you wake up and like you see Sonia Morgan's tagged you in a post. You're like, what is happening right now?
Has she tagged you in posts?
Yeah, she's
shut up.
She follows so many Bravo accounts.
She does.
She tagged like randomly so many people like Bravo while black. Like wake up, they're like, what is that? They're like, we just reposted. We know it's okay, whatever. Like what? I never know what to do because it never has anything to do with us. We're just like, okay, y'all. Sonia wants y'all to know this. I guess. Here you go. Here you go.
I forget that. She does go through and randomly start commenting on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Sonia's drunk or something. I don't know. That's so fucking funny. Yeah.
Gosh.
It was so like the people he selected to tag. I'm like, why am I on this list? Okay, got it.
Well, there you go.
There we go. I guess I feel like Alexia didn't let him know, like, we're not cool with She Speaks Bravo.
Right. After y'all had a whole thing, like in the DM.
We had a whole thing. He's like, he thinks we're cool still. Because we were cool. Like Alexia like followed me, thought I was like one of her peeps, but we had a thing.
She always has come across to me as one that though, like, is if you kind of go against the grain, then
she's coming for you.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. She seems to want to show everywhere. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Should we do family karma?
Yes.
Okay. Family karma it is. All right. Wedding woes.
Mm-hmm.
Day one of the wedding, I understood everyone's side in this argument, which is kind of rare,
Yeah.
It's like a rare thing where like, wow, all of you really did just need to talk.
Yeah.
That's
literally
like
it.
No one was wrong, like not even Amrit, and I always want to say he's wrong because I'm mad at him now.
Right.
But like Nicholas did just misunderstand. However, he did need to express himself.
Yes. He's had a lot of bottled up like emotions and stuff, and he's one of those people that if he doesn't let it out, it's just gonna be passive aggressive after passive aggressive after passive. Like it's gonna be little jab after jab after jab, and that Amrit doesn't seem like the person that takes those very well. So get it out,
right? And and I didn't even think, because I thought it was such a sweet conversation that they had, that Lavina and Suresh had in the car last season.
Yeah,
because it was so honest. But I didn't even think that it would hurt Nicholas,
right?
Because, they're talking about how, why am I not excited? I was so excited for our other son, but I'm not excited about this one. I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess that would really be painful to hear.
Let me ask you, do you think that's played any factor into, because, maybe they didn't know that was going to be actually put into the show. Do you think that's played any kind of, I hate even asking this question, but like any kind of factor into how openly supportive they are now? Or do you think it's all just like they really just want to see their son happy? Or do you think it's a little both? Like it could be both. I don't know, two things true at once. But what do you think? Do you think they saw that too on camera and were like, oh shit, like that's a lot. Like I didn't want it to come off that way, so let me kind of overcompensate in a way?
I don't want to say that they're overcompensating. It doesn't feel inauthentic, their love. I don't put a pin in that.
Okay.
I
don't know what the answer is either, because I literally just thought of it when you were talking about it, because they seem so genuine to me too. Like I'm very protective of Lavina, so yes.
But Amrit's big thing, and I do understand this, is I don't want you to discredit everything over a few statements.
Right.
But then Nicholas says this, he's like, I don't protect my parents and their views, but you do. It's like, wow, damn good point. For crying out loud. Like, I didn't see it like that. As kind of Nicholas is like, I constantly have to take the brunt of my parents being disapproving, but your parents aren't totally approving. And Amrit he's busted here, and then he's like, this is not productive. I'm like, well, it's because he made a good point, isn't it? It's because he made a fucking good point.
They always have seemed like two... Ooh, no, I won't say that.
Nope.
They've always seemed more similar than different. Not like the parents in terms of support, but like in the way that like Nicholas is very kind of like, he's saying that like he doesn't support what his parents is doing, but sometimes you know how we say like silence is deafening. It sometimes feel like he ignores that kind of stuff because he doesn't want like the constant barrage coming at them. And I think I understand it, because I feel like it's because, like any small thing could make them not want to support them, not want to come to the wedding, not want to do this. So he's just like, okay, we're on paper thin ice. Let's just like not do any of this, so they'll be, they'll be cordial to us in the future, like going forward and stuff. But whereas like Amrit's parents were confused at first, but then they kind of got on board. But then you get some of the passive aggressive jabs every now and then and stuff like that. So it's really like both of them need to hold a mirror up to the other one, but they also kind of need to look at themselves too, at their own actions. But I don't think either one. I think both of them have gotten to the point where they're both so defensive about their parents that it's going to be hard for them to do that.
This is why Nicholas is like, I don't want to keep brushing everything under the rug. We've got to finally talk about it. And I wouldn't even consider them brushing it under the rug, but when you see the conversation finally happen, you're like, I guess they were brushing everything under the rug this whole time.
Right. Because that's the first we heard about that secret car conversation. We saw it on camera, but like
them.
Yeah, I had forgotten all about that. So
totally.
Yeah.
My sister is getting married this summer, and I hate that the first thing I think of is, I don't want to see what I look like in pictures. But I can do something about it. So in addition to upping my Pilates and my cardio, I'm also going to start eating cleaner. And I'm going to do that using Factor. Factor is my favorite of all the meal kit delivery services because it's the most delicious and it's the most nutritious. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. It just happened to rhyme. With all the episodes I'm putting out, I truly do not have a lot of time to spend in the kitchen, cooking and prepping and doing any of that. So Factor being delivered straight to my door, ready to eat, ready in 2 minutes, saves me tons of time so I can still get all the content out to you guys. And I can achieve my goal of feeling confident for this wedding in the summer. You should get America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit and start saving time, eating well, and living your best year yet also. It's so great because with Factor, you can skip the grocery store, you can skip prepping and chopping and cleaning. Factor is fresh, it's never frozen, and the meals are ready in 2 minutes, and all you have to do is heat them up and enjoy. And no matter what your lifestyle is, so I found Factor 2 years ago when I was trying to go keto, but they've got keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, protein plus. They're prepared by chefs, so no wonder they're so delicious. They're approved by dietitians, so no wonder they're so nutritious. And every meal has all of the ingredients you need so you feel satisfied all day long. Every week, there's 34 chef-prepared meals. Every week, you're looking at 34 chef-prepared, dietitian-approved meals to pick from. So you've always got something new to try. And they've got snacks to pick from. 36 plus snacks with like sweets and smoothies and juices. So I need snacks. Anything to keep me from ordering takeout. Factor's so much better than takeout. It's cheaper and it's done in 2 minutes. So, hello. If you are vegan or veggie, Factor makes it so easy. It's everything you want in all the meals, nothing you don't. And if you want to mix it up, you can even add a protein to some of the meals. Factor is perfect if you want to eat clean without all the work, which is so me. You just choose your meals and you can enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door, ready in 2 minutes, no prep, no mess. Head to factormeals.com/shespeaks50, use code SheSpeaks50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code SheSpeaks50 at factormeals.com/shespeaks50 to get 50% off your first box. So you may have already heard me talk about my friend who is trying to get pregnant this year. Shock to me. Well, she has received her results back from her modern fertility test, and unfortunately, her reproductive health is going to be a challenge. Look, hindsight is 20/20. But the lesson is the sooner you can look into your reproductive health, the better. That's why modern fertility was created. This is easy, affordable, it's at home, it's a simple finger prick. You mail that in with the prepaid label, and you get personalized results within 6 business days. You get insight into your hormone levels, like your ovarian reserves, which is if you have more or fewer eggs than average for your age, and other really important factors that can impact your fertility. The results go deep into what each hormone means, and the best part, in my opinion, is you can download these results to review with your doctor for next steps, which is what my friend is going to do. It is not hopeless, it's just going to be a challenge. The traditional hormone testing, you have to go into a fertility clinic and it costs you over $600, but modern fertility tests the same general set of hormones for only $179. And if you go to modernfertility.com/shespeaks, you can get $20 off your test. Plus, you can get reimbursed for the test through FSA/HSA. If you want kids today or maybe one day in the future, clinically sound info about your body can help you make the decision that's right for you. Right now, Modern Fertility is offering our listeners $20 off the test when you go to modernfertility.com/shespeaks. That means your test will only cost $159, which is a fraction of what it would cost at a fertility clinic. Get $20 off your fertility test when you go to modernfertility.com/shespeaks. modernfertility.com/shespeaks. All right, so now everyone's arriving. Why the fuck did Lopa expect to stay in the same room as Richa? Like, now we are dealing with some boundary issues, Lopa. Okay, come on now, Lopa.
My favorite part of this episode was finding out that Lopa still has him blocked in her phone.
Amazing. And when he calls from a blocked number, she picks a no number. She's like, hello. She's like, my mom picked up immediately.
I love
who
this.
Who picks up an unknown number?
I'm a Basketball Wives fan, and they just started back coming on like last week. And I love that because last week's episode, Jackie Christie, who was like the most wild, ridiculous person on reality TV, tried to call one of the cast members and they wouldn't answer the phone. But then one of the other girls was like, I'll get her to answer.
Oh,
she like calls and she answers like, hey girl, what's up? And they're like, oh, you wouldn't answer for Jackie, but you'll answer for... I love when we like catch that kind of shit on TV. Yes.
I think that happened on Salt Lake City too. I think like the first season, Whitney tries to call Lisa Barlow and she doesn't answer, and then someone else calls and Lisa's like, hey.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it, Lisa. Just saying. Just saying.
O'Malley arrives. I gotta say, O'Malley needs a little reality TV glow up. I need him to get I need a little scrub, a little puff, a little something.
A little zhuzh. Yeah.
A little zhuzhy.
Yeah.
He's just a little rough. He just needs just a tiny bit.
You know, it takes some people a long time to realize that they're on camera.
And he probably doesn't give a shit. I get it,
right.
But I do.
Yeah, we care.
And and I bet in person it doesn't matter, but like on camera, it's so much, like camera is just unforgiving. Like,
yes,
you know, it is. But dude, the little dog, Fendi, laying on the dress. I mean, what a cute little image.
That's a Christmas card.
Oh my God. So fucking cute. But her daughter has to stay on the couch. Poor thing. I think that damn ex-husband of hers is just trying everything he can to make their lives hell.
Yeah. And I wish they would. We don't know his name, do we?
They might have shown it, but I don't retain it, but he's a dick.
That's who we need a deep dive on. Like Bravo accounts, I wish enough people covered Family Karma so they could deep dive on his ass.
Yeah, because he's taken the house and clearly Bali doesn't have another, like, a good source of income because she's broke. All right, so Lavina, Suresh, they go to Amrit and Nicholas's room for the big talk. Lavina insists that she meant it not like in a negative way when she said it didn't feel like a wedding. She meant it like, I'm not stressed out. You know, I feel like I'm on a vacation. And I believe her. I don't think she meant it in a shitty way. Mm-hmm. So Nicholas is coming in hot. You know, he is and it sucks because when you're convinced it was said like that, and you know, he's you know, pissed about it. So he's coming in like, let's give some perspective to this. This is a real wedding. But then he does explain, and this is a real point of pain for him. Mm-hmm. You know, as a gay person, it feels like you're battling the world for your existence. And he comes from such a rough family of just, like, his sister isn't even there.
Right.
So this is such a huge, huge deal. And then planning an Indian wedding has played up a million insecurities, and it becomes aggravating, and it's really triggering for me. I love the energy Suresh brings to this scene.
Yes.
Because he's like firm, but like kind of matter of fact and
firm,
business.
but not dismissive.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And he's like, just our culture focuses more on the family. It's about bringing two families together. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, you knew what a traditional Indian wedding was. I'm looking at you, Amrit. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm not really even talking to Nicholas. I said we could do a simple wedding. Like, you're the one. And Amrit has to take ownership of that. That was cool. This is where I was like, y'all needed this conversation. Okay.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, Amrit, it is your fault because you probably wanted this for TV. You probably wanted to have your big Indian wedding on TV because I get it. That's fair. That's fine. I'm not faulting him for that. I'm really not.
And your best friend just did. So
I don't blame you.
You're right.
But that is a big point where he's like, you wanted this? This is what these traditions are. And now you're mad that they make you feel like this. So, but when Lavina starts crying, I was like, oh no. I was sobbing as I typed these notes because it was so,
Woo woo.
When she's like, when have I ever made you not feel loved? And he, like, Nicholas, he starts to talk, and Amrit is probably not used to seeing his mom cry. So he's like, don't, Nicholas. And Nicholas is like, no, we are going to talk about it. And he tells them about the scene in the car. And Lavina tries not to be rude, but she's like, come on. Like, look at your parents. Not to bring that up, but like, give us a little bit of credit here. Like, we're going to be a bit like we had to process.
Right.
And the sound of her crying is the worst sound in the world. Hug her right now. Like I literally cannot even handle it.
I don't know how all of this would have made me feel, honestly, because I'm so... this was a moment where everyone needed to talk. Yes. Because I definitely see where everyone's coming from. If I was Amrit, I do get why he's so upset, because it really does seem like Nicholas doesn't want to focus on his parents giving 0 or giving 5%, while Amrit's parents are like giving everything now, even though they might not have been before, but they're giving it now. And it seems like there's a lot of unresolved stuff. And I feel like Amrit's point is just let it go. They're not there anymore. But he's like, I can't let it go until they actually address it, because that's always going to be something in the back of my mind. And so this is a mess. But I'm glad they're working through it, because one, I don't like to see her cry. It almost made me cry. I know it's too much, but I feel like this was a group of 4 people where you could actually go into a room for a conversation and you can know beforehand that you're going to have resolve, because that's not the case on most reality TV shows, most families, and we actually got resolved. So kudos to them. Like she says, what about all the good things I've done? And I could not. And then Nicholas, still sassy. He's like, yesterday you said it felt like something was missing. And Amrit's like, she just clarified. She just clarified. I just went weak when she was just so earnest. Like she, with the most sincere and earnest voice, she's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Done. I cannot. So then Nicholas goes to her feet and she says, no, I need you to forgive me. Yes. And then hugs him, and then she says, let me take out my emotions. Because she just wanted to cry. And she's like, because Amrit always wanted a big wedding and I wanted that for him. And then she just is so compassionate. She's like, I get it, your emotions are riding high, but I don't want to walk on eggshells, and I promise you are my son. Amrit's love is my love. You know what? The reason this is so relatable too is because I feel like this is a little bit like how most weddings are, because normally the bride is like the one that kind of like, I've been envisioning this since I was a child. I want this, I want that, I want this. And it's her parents that are trying to like make her dreams come true. And the only difference is like normally the grooms are just like, I don't give a fuck, just tell me where to show up and I'm there. But in this case, there's so much culture weaved into the ceremony that you got to think about parents. You got to think about not trying to crush traditions. Like, it's a lot of lines to finally weave. So it's relatable, but it's also like, sheesh, yeah.
It's so true. And like the end result is we are going to have this big, amazing wedding to show that you can have, just like everyone else can, the big, beautiful wedding. It is so good. And then Amrit's confessional is great, because he says, look, if my mom gets to be open and honest with my dad about how she feels about this relationship, then Nicholas can too. Huge. This was a turning point on every level. It is so rare that you get this kind of resolution. on
So
reality
rare.
television.
So rare.
This is probably why they don't do reunions.
It may be. Yeah, we don't want to drudge up the past, right?
They're like, well, you did it already. You're fine.
Quick, slip in before we go on to the next topic. Are you watching this season of Love and Marriage DC?
Okay, I have to get caught up. I only watched the first 2 episodes.
Okay, there are
2?
So there
4?
are 5 out now.
Oh, 5. Oh yeah, I get 3 to watch.
Oh my God, these past 2 episodes. No, really all. Yeah, you're in for a treat.
I'm so excited.
Specifically on these last 2, they dealt with some the Tylers, because Big Jamie and Little Jamie have their whole. But it's
resolved.
It's a lot. There's one episode where the grandma's crying. There's another one when just them go to therapy. It's so much, but it is it's gripping TV, because a lot of people just tune in for the drama. But it is such it's something that I want your thoughts when you finally watch it.
Okay, I will be. Thank you for reminding me, because I needed to get caught up. I cannot stress enough, guys. Love and Marriage DC. It's really easy to get caught up. This is the 2nd season, and if you are not a Monique Samuels fan, it's fun to watch, because you're like, see, she was the problem.
Yes, and honestly, if you just want to jump in this season. It's such a different dynamic. I feel like you can.
You can jump in this season, 100%. You actually don't.
Yes.
It is just a fun watch, though. It's good TV. Just because I hate when people ask me this. This is just a side note real quick. A lot of the time people will say to me, I haven't watched that show. What season should I start at to get caught up?
Right.
And I'm so confused by that, because I'm like, why would you not want all the TV you can get?
Right. Yes.
Why do you want to just get caught up? I'm like, just
that was back when I started,
enjoy the ride.
Back when I started Summer House, because I didn't start Summer House at the beginning. Well, no, I'm sorry. I didn't start it when it came on. I didn't even know you watched
Summer House.
I don't anymore. Now they've gotten on my last nerve. But I think I started before season 4, so I had to watch the first 3 seasons. But everyone kept telling me, no, just watch season 3, because that's when Hannah and Paige come in. It's a whole nother show then, all like that. Something in me just will not let me start a show in the middle. I had to go back to season 1. I mean, there was nothing happening that I needed to watch, so they were right.
That's one of the few exceptions. Even I tell people, I'm like, you don't need to watch from season 1 on Summer House.
No,
that's one of the few exceptions. But on Atlanta, someone asked me what I know. They're like, because there's so many seasons. It's like, I'm sorry, if you don't want to watch the first seasons of Atlanta,
right? You
don't understand. You are missing. But I think people forget, with Atlanta, early seasons of Atlanta, it's not high stakes, intense drama with when you watch Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills, for example, when you watch seasons 1 and 2 and 3, whoa, drama. Amazing TV though, because they didn't expect it to be like that, and then it was, and you're like, ooh. But when you watch Atlanta, you're basically watching a sitcom. Right?
It's Atlanta early seasons was just literally us all marveling at Nene, us wondering why Kim won't get better wigs, us wondering how much money Sheree really has, us loving Lisa Wu, and just us meeting Candy Burris behind the music. It's all just such good TV. It doesn't start
it doesn't get high stakes until maybe season 4.
I'm about to say maybe, yeah. I'm about to say maybe, because I was about to say I don't even know if when Phaedra and Cynthia came that first season on season 3, I don't even know if that was high stakes, because that was pure comedy too. The whole pregnancy, how far along are you?
It was ridiculous.
My due date is August or September. What the fuck are you talking about?
Acting like a doctor wants to bring a baby out before its term.
Yes, the doc, them filming in the hospital, and the doctor being like, "I never told you that. I never said you were that." What? It's pure. You gotta. Oh my God, I want to do it. Whenever I that's good comfort food. Going and sitting down and watching season 3 of Atlanta is just it's just good.
Yeah,
good stuff. Early seasons, Married to Medicine, also in Atlanta too. Our friend Ryan Bailey, when he was when he finally started his journey, I think at one point he asked where should he start. We were like, oh no, you've got to you need, not even because you need to for the story.
1.
Yes, I'm you're just gonna enjoy that. So yes, just start at season 1 and just go. Just
and within a few episodes, you're like, I see why they needed me to start at 1 because so much happens. It's insane.
Yes.
Okay, hotel lobby. Everyone's mingling for this little party. I love this at one point because it's like Nicholas's cousins and like this one cousin who's like 14 is like, "Hi, I'm Dave," and Bali's like, "I'm Bali." She's like, "Did you get a drink?" He's like 14 years old. They have the memorial for Nani. God, the flashback to her giving the blessing. If he's happy, I'm happy. Don't even get me started on the coming out scene.
Oh God, I know.
Oh my God, I was a puddle of tears.
What gripping television? Like, oh my God, I don't think there was a dry eye watching that.
That should have been an Emmy. That should have been a fucking Emmy.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
Oh.
Nicholas's parents call and he lets them know like now would be a good time for you guys to come, and we actually see them be like, okay guys, cameras down, and that was cool. We got to see them be like, all right, we're all on board there.
Yep.
I just love the connection with this crew and the cast and production. It's just it feels like a family.
There's such like we always see like, you know, obviously a lot going on Family Karma, but it always feels like so not perpetrated by the producers. It's literally just like us getting a glimpse into their lives, and I love that because like you can actually say like, hey, can we stop production for a while? My parents are coming here, and they're gonna oblige because they're not like going back and saying, okay, we got to make sure these two people fight in this scene and we got to do this and that. So it's, as people that watch reality TV all day, it's so refreshing to actually see like the crew care about the cast. Yeah.
This must be their favorite show they've ever worked on.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I just bet that they like, this is the best. Actually, my producer friend has heard anyone who worked on the show is like, it's my favorite show.
Oh, good.
Yeah. How could it not be, right? Like they probably they eat all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Brian, Avni, and Anisha go out to eat, but Avni has a confessional where she says that Brian told Avni that he wanted to hook her up with his Uncle Terry.
Yes.
How the fuck does he go from hooking up with her to saying, I'm going to hook you up with my uncle?
That almost feels like negging, doesn't it?
That's fucked up. Especially since he had hooked up with her, and then he's like, you know who you'd be good for? My uncle.
Right.
It's like, what are you saying?
That feels like a lot. I feel like we need further clarification on that.
Yes.
Like, what does that mean?
Avni's like, Avni's a lot. She's a lot to deal with. Like, I'm so glad he's not.
Doses. Yeah.
That
whole motorcycle or the car thing.
The Lambo. I'm like, girl,
right?
You just take it down.
Jesus.
But she's like, I'm vetting his prospects now because Anisha's like, are you guys together? She's like, no, but I'm his wing woman. I'm like, all right, like,
girl,
you're too much. But then Brian's confessional with Anisha, he's like, I think I've grown tremendous volume since Amrit's wedding. I'm less of a man whore and more like a looking for something serious whore. I love it.
I love him. I love him
so much. I love him so much. His confessionals are, I love him.
I know.
Anisha's like, I basically picked out my own ring. The ring is coming in the mail. So she's like, shameless about it. I'm sorry. I don't care. I love her for this. Like, she's like,
that's how you fucking do it.
She's like, I don't care. I've been open about the fact that I want to get married. I want to get engaged. It's happening. We're done. I'm not lying about it. It's not like I'm like, oh, he picked it out. She's like, no, I went and got it.
You're right. And I feel like if I have no problem with anybody doing that. If you go into the relationship being like, okay, look, I'm not just dating to date. Like, I'm dating to find a husband, a wife, like whatever. That's how she was. She told him like, okay, I want to get married by this date. If you're going to propose, let me know. Let's do this shit. He seems to be on board every step of the way. Two people looking for love, found it. Deal done. Love it.
He didn't run away. He said, okay, fine. Clearly, this is his love language too.
Yep.
He's like, all right, cool. You got a plan? I like it. I like to, this helps me out. I need people to kind of take control like that. So fine. It works out. But when Monica and Rishi arrive, Anisha goes, "Ooh, I don't think you want to join this convo. We're talking about engagements." He's like, ha 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 ha. He's such an idiot. I can't stand his dumb face anymore. His dumb, like, deer in headlights, like, looking around. He's always like, his eyes always dart around like he doesn't know where to look because he's just full of lies.
Right.
But everyone arrives. Like, we've got Vishal and Richa and Bali and O'Malley. Everyone's there. And then some guy with the Lambo, the Bali, or Avni's like, "Oh my God, it's my boyfriend. Oh, it's my boyfriend." And everyone in the restaurant that's next to her is like, "What is happening?"
Right.
Who is she?
It just felt like, oh God, I want a full-time spot. Yeah, on this show. It was so much.
You could feel Brian being like, "And this is why we're done." But then in her confessional,
this is why I want to hook you up with Terry.
This is why my Uncle Terry has a loud Lamborghini too.
Exactly.
And like, because only douchebags are like revving up their cars.
Right.
It's just annoying. It's only like, it's not fun for anyone. No one, literally. But then she says something so stupid in her confessional.
Uh-oh.
She says something about, because I don't know, Richa's like, "Yeah, you like the Lamborghinis or something. I don't know." And she's like, "Yeah, that's why I like Southern boys, because they're men at like 22. I'm sorry.
What?
No, opposite.
Right.
They're like 50 and they're still children.
Has she never seen Southern Charm?
Peter Pan complex. Like, this is why she's a mess. So
yeah.
But did I not call this? I love when I told you so moment. It's my toxic trait. It's my. I'm sorry, guys. You know I love it.
You deserve it. It's okay.
I knew her and Brian fucked. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Because you don't fool around with Brian and not take it all the way. Okay.
Right.
You don't start and stop with that. With a boy that hot, no.
Yeah.
And you're older and he's that young. If he wants you, you're taking it. And so Brian's trying his hardest in his confessional not to say what happens. But because she starts it, she's like, "Yeah, we went back to my house after the housewarming party." And he's like, "Yeah, we went back and I did some of her dishes. Because, I wanted to let her know I could do that. And I left after a period of time." They're like, you hear the producer go, "Sure you did." And he's like, "Damn it."
At no point were we fooled. No.
Knew it. I was like, there's no way she didn't take it when she had the chance.
Yeah. Lucky her.
Bish is still not drinking, and he's doing great. He's
good for him.
Thriving, and I'm so happy to see that. And he seems so good. He seems so light, and he's just, it looks really good. It looks really, really good.
He's finally realizing that he doesn't need alcohol to be the life of the party.
And he seems comfortable, like genuinely comfortable. And Richa seems supportive.
Yes. A full 180 from earlier in the season. Yeah.
Yeah. Less resentment. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
So it's day 2 now, the next day, and this is the dance. Nicholas has been practicing. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to be a dick. If you can't dance, why do a dance?
Right.
I just felt bad for him. Like, you don't have to, buddy.
See, the thing, on the show, it didn't look nearly as
bad.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, as it did when they posted the picture on Instagram, the uncut video. Then it was like, oh, Bravo did you a favor.
My notes even say they are barely showing his part. They just kept cutting to everyone else.
Yep.
Yeah. But it was really sad. So there's a part where Bali's confessional, the producer's like, "Wow, you seem to be in a good place." And she's like, "I fake it well." Oh, brutal. And it was sad because they show 3 months prior, before they had moved out of the house, and Anushka's crying because she was thinking about how she's not going to live in the house anymore. What a dick. Her dad is such an evil man.
God.
Punishing your own daughter just to get back at your ex-wife.
Weirdo behavior. Ugh.
So fucked up. And I actually do understand Bali now being embarrassed to tell O'Malley because it's like, it's not powerful. It's not like I'm choosing this. It's like I literally have to move in with you.
Right.
I wonder what kind of house he lives in.
He better live in a fucking duplex or a teardown. You better not be living better than us. O'Malley. Oh, I was thinking of the ex-husband. I was like, you better be living fucking...
the ex-husband lives in like a palace, I'm sure.
Fucking asshole.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. O'Malley, you better be living good. You trying to get somebody to come to get... You know what? I'm sorry. I feel like I inadvertently like poop on Louisville like every chance I get. And I don't mean to. It's just like when you like in somewhere like... I always say like when you're in somewhere like LA, New York, Miami, you know, somewhere like that, you got to have like a lot of good reasons to like have someone move to like the Midwest or the South or Central, you know, like so you got to have a good reason. And I guess love is one. So y'all say, I don't know, but
so y'all say.
From what I hear, I don't.
Kendrick. Same way now. I'm the same way. I'm like, I guess.
Right? Like, okay.
Oh, gross. Feelings.
Who needs those? Yucko. Hated it.
We're the worst with this.
I know.
I can't.
I'm just saying.
We're the.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
I see people. I've told you before. I have a cousin that like it's all about like Disney raised her, so like every decision is based on love and all like that. I'm like, girl, okay.
I know this is why I'm always out of the loop. Like when like Lindsay Hubbard's a perfect example on Summer House because she just always wants love, and I'm like, I don't get it.
Right. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I just want like food and money, but I get if love is just half as good as those things, then maybe I'll try that one day. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Amazing. Oh my God, I love Vishal not being able to get his shirt on, and Lopa just happens to walk in the room. I think because they have adjoining rooms, right?
Yes.
So she heard him and she goes in and gets his shirt on.
Gosh.
But I love her. She's like, I am proud of him for not drinking, but he is still blocked in my phone.
And you know, someone in you know, I'm on the corporate side of like the hospitality world. Y'all know that by now, but you have to like request adjoining rooms, like rooms that are connected. Because like not all rooms are like connecting like that. And you know, they have the app where you can pick your own room ahead of time and all that kind of stuff. So one of them, like either, I don't know if it was Lopa or Richa, but somebody requested like she be right there. And gosh, I would not want to. If I was with my spouse, I would not want a parent in the next room.
Well, I think Richa did, because when they were checking in, when Vishal heard that they had adjoining rooms, he was like, "Oh, really?"
He was trying to get a change. Yeah.
Is there anything like? No, okay, fuck.
God,
amazing. All right, so now we have the Sangeet dinner. Lavina looks amazing. She's got her red on, her makeup. Ooh, she looks so good. Nicholas and Amrit arrive on that like bike thing. Lopa has the smoky eyes. She looks amazing too.
10s across the board, everybody.
10s across the board. Everyone looks so good. Dharma, I love Dharma's confessional. She's like, Lavina is an amazing host. She's going around and introducing me to everyone. Fantastic. I feel very welcomed at this wedding. And then you see Reshma come in and she's just like, so cold. She's like, hi, everyone. Hello. Like, just so not warm at all. But then they ask, like, are you cool with Reshma? And she's like, actually, we had to practice the auntie dance at her house, and it was cordial. Okay. All right. Okay.
I love that Dharma too, like directly said that it was much better than the last wedding I was at. And Brian and like they were trying not to laugh. They were like, "Ooh."
I know they're like froze. They're like, we're gonna be in trouble.
Whoopsie.
I love at one point Bali's like, is that Nicholas's dad? And Amrit's like, no, that's just another white guy. Oh my God. Everything. Anisha and Bali are outside at one point talking about how she needs to tell O'Malley that she's moving in. Mm-hmm. And Bali says that she's failed at 2 marriages. And I was like, wait. I know. It's like, okay, I feel like I felt bad. I'm like, maybe I'm forgetting something obvious, but okay, good to know.
Right.
And then she goes, I have to tell him soon or else my mom will, because she's literally telling everyone anyway. And like cut to her at like a brunch being like, and so she's moving out. She decided to move out. She's like, I didn't decide to move out, bitch. You kicked me out.
Right. 2 entirely different things. Excuse me.
So dude, Raj pulls Rishi outside and Monica's confessional is legit. She's like, here's what I would wish. I want him to want to have this conversation with my dad. I don't want my dad to be pulling him outside and he's like, when he's like, am I in trouble? Shut up.
You know the fuck you first of all, you know what's happening. Like, you know, the same thing we've been talking about for 2 years now that you just will not do and you've been giving her to run around. You know what the hell this conversation's about.
He always
what
does.
Are you doing?
He's such a little like baby child boy. He's like, oh, am I in trouble? Oh, really?
Right.
And then so Raj has to like play nice, but eventually he's not. He did play nice. He wasn't too bad. Mm-hmm. But he said, I liked the way he did this. His tactic was good. He says, I was looking at those pictures from the date you took her on, and I mistakenly said, wow, that looks like a proposal. And she busted out crying. How do you feel about that?
Right.
You feel about that, Rishi? Now what, huh?
Perfect setup.
And Raj is like, so if you cannot make my daughter cry anymore, I would appreciate it.
Whoops.
Raj is like, if you see the perfect moment, you have my permission. Another really good line. Like, what are you going to do now, Rishi? And then he's like, I've always said before her birthday. You've always said that. You said that last year, though.
Right. I was about to say, which fucking... Can we put a number on it? Because
you can't keep saying
through
that.
A couple, right?
you start getting real specific about what birthday, dude, because you're fucking making shit up now.
Like, which numbers? I mean, the 3s. Like, which one? 3-1, 3-2. Like, which one? Like, let me buy the candles. They sell candles in numbers now. So, like, let me get the ones. Like,
Raj's confessional. I like how messy he is. He's like, I am not optimistic. He's messy. I'm living for Raj. He is a vital character on this show.
Yes. Go Raj.
But it's dance time. I love all of them being so scared and nervous because they haven't practiced. This is such a great tradition, like to have to learn a dance routine.
Yes. I've told you before, I'm waiting on my moment. I'm waiting on my moment for somebody to invite me like to do the dance at the wedding. I'm waiting. I know
agree.
I can do it. I love one of the Disney Plus shows last year was Miss Marvel, and her brother was getting married and they had like this like intricate dance number in one of the episodes. I was like, oh my God, I'm waiting on my moment. If just one of my friends will get married and like let me shine, I am ready for this. I will lose the weight. I will buy the outfits. Like I will do everything. I am ready for my moment to shine.
I love that they call them the Miami Crew.
Yes.
That's their name. But they are barely showing Nicholas. Now, look, I should not talk shit. He wanted to do it, and he did it. He conquered his fear. He did it for his man. But I was like, why? Like, why did you want to do it so bad? But he did it. He did it.
Right. He did it.
But then the aunties come out. The uncles come out. Like, this is just such an adorable scene. Then everyone comes out and dances. Like, get me to this wedding.
Yes.
I wanted to be there so bad. Then Nicholas introduces Lavina and Suresh to Aunt Terry, and like I was crying again. Like this just God. It was so great. Then like the guys lift both Nicholas and Amrit up and they kiss. Great end of the episode.
Love it.
Next week
only
we're going
one
to see
left.
I know. Next week the wedding, but then we're going to see Dharma say to Reshma, let's let bygones be bygones. And Reshma's got that bitchy smile. She's like, can't stand Reshma. I can't stand her.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Fantastic episode. Truly amazing. Now we can really enjoy the wedding. I'm happy that they're not doing there's no like silly lead up like will they get married or anything like that in the preview, because that's so dumb.
One of the reasons I stopped watching Summer House, I'm like, y'all don't like post pictures, Bravo, of the wedding on your account, right? Their official account, and then put out a trailer saying, "Oh my God, I don't think I should marry him. Will I get married? What's gonna happen?" It's like, really? You gonna play in my face like that? Like you didn't just post those people's wedding pictures, really?
We're like, but did you guys forget that you posted that? Like, was that an accident that you guys posted that?
Nah.
Kendrick, I'll do your outro. Hey guys, follow Kendrick at Reality and Comics 2 on Instagram, TOO, and find his podcast everywhere you find my podcast, Reality and Comics 2. How about that, huh? There we go.
I love that.
All right, guys. Love you, mean it. Bye.
Bye.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, would you mind leaving me a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform you are listening? If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget there's the super thanks option down at the bottom, the little button with the $ and the heart. And also I'm on buymeacoffee.com/SheSpeaksBravo if you want to buy me a little coffee or 2 or 5. And my Patreon, that is where I'm covering all of the classic Bravo jams. If you want to follow me over there and subscribe, link is in the description. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok at She Speaks Bravo. And whoever the guest was for today, all their information is always in the episode description. So if you want to follow them and check them out, check there for the info. And any of the sponsor codes that I mentioned in this episode will also be in the description. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.